Hi there, and welcome back to Veteran Two Wheels. In this video, I'm headed north, as far as you can get. In this northernmost Norwegian county, I met the two Norwegian veterans, Roy and Odd Magnar. Before we get there, I want to show you what I've been up to this biker season before I started this journey. I went to Albania in the start of the season. I rented a motorcycle and I headed for the hills and those beautiful Albanian mountain roads.
Benelli 750. I'm in I Rana, that is more or less in the middle of Norway. And here I meet these three crazy but funny Mexican guys. And here they are. So,
Rodrigo.
Jose.
tell me guys, where are you going? Why?
We want to go to the North Cape.
Yeah?
What's the plan?
Yeah?
And we have I guess 20 days
Now?
to do that and go back. You have more time, but I need to go back.
Yeah.
Those guys.
But you have other plans.
Yes, I have. I want to know all the world.
Yeah.
In parts, because I have my family in Mexico. I have to return.
Yeah.
But I take about 1 month and then come back to work to the family, and then make another trip. I already made all America from Alaska to Ushuaia.
Yeah.
We make with him a part of Africa, the south of Africa.
Did you, when you did American continent, did you go north to south?
We start in our hometown Puebla, Mexico.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Yeah.
In the middle, and go up.
Okay.
And return to Puebla, and then go down and return to Puebla.
To Ushuaia.
Yeah.
I do understand their urge to travel, to adventure, to see new places, to gather energy, to meet people in new places, and to see those North Norwegian summer nights that are just beautiful. And now my long journey begins. But first, I had to wait for my friend Kenneth, who also is going north. He has his own mission in the north, where he will visit a place where he almost lost his life 4 years ago. Kenneth has his own YouTube channel called Ride the Bean. He is an inspiration to me and many others. I do recommend to look him up and follow his adventure. And, of course, he was well received with a North Norwegian hospitality. He was fed, and we had some beers before we took off together the next day. Destination on the Ness, where we take a ferry over to the second biggest island in Norway, Senja.
What a beautiful place.
It is.
This is just stunning. And we came at the perfect time.
Yeah, it couldn't be better. And well, it doesn't look like it, but you who are watching, just imagine like 10 minutes ago, maybe just 8 minutes ago, it rained so hard. It rained so hard that we were just about to stop and put on our rain suits.
Damn, this is fucking beautiful. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
What was this place?
Well, the name of the place is Bøvær.
Bøvær.
Bøvær. Next destination is Tromsø, biggest city in north of Norway, also known as Paris of the North. And now we have a ferry to catch.
This is the Tirpitz monument.
Yeah,
Tirpitz was sunk in, was it 1944?
I believe so. The sign says the 12th of November 1944.
Yeah.
And Tirpitz was the sister ship of Bismarck and Blücher, I believe. There are several opinions about it, but what I have heard, I'm not saying this is historically correct, but what I've heard is it was damaged in a big battle some other place, and they took it here and anchored it here to use it as an artillery ship because it had huge cannons on board. And during that time, there was approximately 900 people on board. Normally, it should be several thousand, but as long as it was just used as an artillery ship, they have decreased in the numbers of persons on board. The Englishman was not satisfied that it was only damaged. They wanted to sink it. So a huge fleet of planes, many squadrons, they tried to release and drop the bombs directly on the vessel. But the armor of the vessel was so thick, and so they were not able to damage the ship even any further. But they saw that when the bombs dropped close to the vessel in the ocean, the vessel tilted over quite a lot. So they decided to drop all the bombs simultaneously at the same time on the side of the vessel. And that made the vessel tilt over and capsize upside down.
It's an interesting tactic.
I think it was 916 sailors on board that vessel that died that day. But most likely, the cannons on board that ship took more than 916 other lives. So I'm not going to stand here and talk about what is fair and what is not.
War is war. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Regardless.
it is. It is.
Well, I think it's that time of the day, no?
It is, absolutely. It has been a long day.
It has.
We haven't driven so far, but we have seen a lot.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful ride. Sunny, rainy, windy.
Yeah.
Sunny again.
And we have met Norwegians, French.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of nationalities on the ferry.
True.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, what are we saying?
Cheers. Salud.
Sante.
Sante.
Final leg towards Lakselv and North Cape. Not so much filming on this leg, because in order to get this far north, there is no option on the road except from the highway E6. Not so exciting. So, for that reason, close to 500 kilometers is just skipped. Finally, we arrived in Lakselv, where my two brothers-in-arms are living. But I also got to visit North Cape, where I've never been before. Returning to Lakselv and the veteran Roy.
The strongest memory I have is the people I was serving with. The connection we all had, the memories we share, the good times we make, how good it was to be with those people in sometimes a bit hard time, but mostly the good times. So that's the strongest memory I have. I have some memories that is not so good, but mostly to the beginning I kept them for myself. But after a while I needed a help, and then I used my buddy, and we talk about it because he had the same experience, so we helped each other.
Roy served in Normaintcoy, the Norwegian maintenance company in UNIFIL in the city of Tibnine. Times were mainly calm and the troops could focus on their job. Norway were one of the first countries to participate in UNIFIL in 1978. Other countries in the beginning were Iran, Canada, Nepal, France, Nigeria, Fiji, Ireland and Senegal. This was a peacekeeping mission, and the name implies it was supposed to be an interim mission based on the name United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon. The fact is that still today, 47 years later, the mission is still going and it still holds the word interim in its name. Anyway, as I said, the service were mainly calm, but sometimes the units were caught in the crossfire of the fighting parties and they had to seek shelter. Since the establishment of UNIFIL in 1978, more than 50 nations around the world have been participating in this mission. As of 31st of July 2024, 326 soldiers and officers have lost their life in this mission, where Norway lost 21. One of them were the 21-year-old Gorm Bjørnar Haugen that were killed in action in Blot 27th of December 1993. Roy were in an earlier episode rather critical towards Norwegian armed forces concerning the research after service, for some more than 30 years after service. Roy is still critical, but he is also working as a teacher and understands the need of learning to improve.
It's too little, it's too late, but the good thing is maybe it can only get better for the soldiers that go abroad later.
So the question is, have we improved? One way to possibly answer this is to compare the research about service in Lebanon and service in Afghanistan. Let's look at a UNIFIL study released in 2016, nearly 40 years after Norway's first deployment to Lebanon. The study states very clearly that the ambition with the research is to establish knowledge if the Norwegian troops have developed mental illness after service. Approx 51% of the nearly 21,000 receivers answered the study. Of those, have 12.4% developed mental illness. The officer in charge of the research, now retired General Reichelt, suspected that this number could be higher. Were there correlation between those who did not answer the study and information provided by NAV, the official Labour and Welfare Administration in Norway? The Ethics Committee within Norwegian Research approved these rather invasive data about individuals' sick leave and disabled status based on mental illness. That part of the study confirmed the suspicion, but given the fact that this was not part of the official research, the strongest statement about this given in this research is that the number of veterans with mental illness after service in Lebanon is probably higher than 12.4%. The Afghanistan research from 2020 shows that the percentage of mental illness is 10.4%. A slightly lower number that could imply that the effort of better selection and training before deployment, included better programs at redeployment, has taken a positive effect. At the same time, this is not easy to give a good answer to, based on the fact that the troops in Afghanistan were mainly professional troops and many of them are still in service, and personnel continuing in the Norwegian military system scores lower on that percentage. Also, the same study shows that the percentage increases over time, which also correlates with research from other nations.
If you were asked today, and you had the opportunity, would you go out again?
I would.
Same job?
Whatever, but the same job doesn't exist now,
No.
But I would go.
There must be some really strong feelings involved. From my own humble opinion, it is a combination of the sense of duty, the comradeship, the adventure, and the feel of making a difference. And this is obviously shared by many.
If you were called upon tomorrow and asked, can you join us? We have a mission and we need you to join us in 2 days. Would you have gone?
I would go there right away. That's the, yeah, not hesitate at all. But yeah, the only thing that my wife can be. Yeah, well, actually, yeah, I have like my youngest child is 9 at the moment, so that might be a little problem, but I would go there right away if somebody asked.
If you were called upon, would you go again?
Afghanistan.
Or Lebanon?
Maybe in Lebanon, not Afghanistan anymore.
Too dangerous?
Yeah. Too much crazy people.
Yeah. You were scared?
Yep.
Roy invited me to a king crab party with a local unit of NVO, a national veterans organization. Of course I accepted, and I'm glad I did, because there I met an officer that I served with more than 30 years ago, Captain Odd Magnar Olsen.
Odd Magnar Olsen, you are a Norwegian veteran?
Yes, retired veteran from the Norwegian military.
Yes.
Force.
Yes. And you served in the Middle East, in UNIFIL, in South Lebanon in the early 1990s, but maybe earlier also.
First tour was in 1986 in contingent 1617, the Norwegian contingent, and the second time was in 1991, contingent Norwegian contingent 26th and 27th.
Yes, but also you are a professional Norwegian officer.
Yes.
You have served in the Norwegian Army for how many years?
In over 36 years I've been serving in the Royal Norwegian Army.
Yeah, and you are recently retired.
Recently it was, I retired in 2016 after 36 years, yes.
Can you say something in general, what is your impression of how the Norwegian Army, the Norwegian authorities takes care of Norwegian veterans from your point of view?
Yes, in the beginning, in 1986, it wasn't too much. You had your education when you started. It was then well prepared, I think. And when you came back, it was not so much arrangements for those who had been. But in 5 years later, it has improved and it was much better.
Do you have any suspicion why we did not take as good care as we maybe could have at that time? Do you have any idea about this?
I think it was the time, the focus in the military, the professional focus in the Norwegian military. They were a little bit laid back, I think, in the beginning, but that has improved much. It is much more focused on problems which can happen for the personnel. So, and of course, the economical business is also very, very important. They didn't spend too much money, in my opinion, in the beginning, but it has improved a lot. Now they have personnel, they have a system which take care of people who have problems and when they come back from international service, not only in UNIFIL, but around the world, where Norwegian are participating.
All good things come to an end. It is time to leave Finnmark, but first a stop at historical grounds.
The remains at Skoganvare Field Hospital, close to Lakselv, Finnmark. And this is from the area of time April-September 1944, 684 admissions. This area was
decided built during the Second World War, and 1,000 German and Austrian troops were sent into the area to build the place. But everything was decommissioned and it fled, and it was ruined during a bombardment, and the Germans fled. History. Ride the beam on
What
the
an
moon.
awesome place. This is gorgeous.
Thank you so much, Kenneth, for a great ride together in north of Norway. Hopefully this is not the last trip together. Now I'm headed south in Finland, where I will meet these guys. Finnish veterans from many different missions with different experience. Until next time, like, share and subscribe.